Que pasa YouTube? How's it going everybody? Now before I get into talking about the team preview, for those of you who have not liked my Facebook fan page, which a link to that is in all of my videos as well as my Tumblr, so follow me on Tumblr and go like the Facebook fan page. Last night I actually put a status saying that I wanted to do a 7,777 subscriber special, and I actually hit that mark this morning while I was at college doing some of the registration stuff, because I am going to be starting college soon hopefully. So I was doing that stuff, and unfortunately I didn't get a chance to actually get a picture of me hitting 7,777, but I still wanted to do a special, and I thought about this on the drive back home from the college that I'm going to, and I thought to myself, because a lot of you really like the Stabmons, the PS Live, and the Wi-Fi battle I had with Ryland, I thought to myself, why not do an hour-long showdown live of just Stabmons with like 2 or 3 different teams? That way the one team that I use doesn't get repetitive and boring for you guys. And I don't really know if y'all would actually like to see that, which is why I'm bringing this up. So leave a comment down below if you would like to see an hour live Stabmons PS Live, and maybe I could get like Ryland in there and we can just have a good old time if he's not busy or something. But yeah, just leave a comment down below, and if you would like to see it, then just say you would, say you wouldn't. If you have better suggestions for a 7,777 subscriber special, then please leave your suggestions down below. But yeah, that's really it. Team preview. This is a weird team that I made. It's really fun. The only real thing I really wanted to use was Banded Sawk and Scarf Tauros because I really like those two. Then I threw in Sub-Disable Haunter, Rain Dance Ludicolo, Specially Defensive Purple Pass, and Mixed Defensive Mandibuzz, although I have recently changed it to Max Defense, Max HP. But yeah, anyways, looking at my opponent's team, he has a Hazards-based team with Roselia and Torkoal. And looking at threats, Haunter and Braviary are definitely going to be 2 problems, especially if Braviary is the sub-bulk upset. That could get a little bit out of hand if I do lose my Mandibuzz, so I really have to watch out for that. And actually, this battle is against one of my subscribers that I found while I was trying to get battles with this team, and there's actually a bit of a funny part to this battle. Before the battle even started, as some of you know, I do like wrestling. Don't judge me, it's just something I used to watch with my dad, and I still enjoy it to this day. I don't really care what your opinions are on about it. But for those of you who don't know, most of my showdown alts are just basically wrestlers' names, and this guy put in the chat, "Is this 6-foot hacks?" because I know that he likes to use the Riley sprite because that is my favorite sprite, and his alts are always named after wrestlers. And I was like, what? Who would actually catch on to this? But honestly, it's basically the only type of alternate alts that I use on Showdown, so eventually if you watch my battles long enough, you will get the concept that I do just use wrestlers' names and use the sprite of Riley. But anyways, this is already 3 minutes long, so let's get into the battle. Yeah, Braviary and Haunter, threats. Anyways, I'm going to be leading off on my Mandibuzz, as he's going to be leading off with the Roselia. Right off the bat, I'm just going to go straight for the taunt because I do not want him to get up any lair spikes. As his turn, predicting him to switch out, I'm going to go for the foul play, as I do practically nothing to the Sawk. Judging for how much damage that Stone Edge did, I know that this Sawk is more than likely Scarf, because if he was banded, that would have done well over 50%. Then predicting him to switch out into the Torkoal or the Braviary, I decide to go for the taunt, but he makes a safe play by bringing in the Roselia. Then this turn, predicting him to go for lair spikes, I'm going to go for the taunt. As he brings in the Torkoal, I'm going to be able to go for the Toxic. Unfortunately, he's going to end up burning me with the Lava Plume, but you're going to see that I do get some justice later on in the game. As his turn, I'm going to go for the Roost, and he makes a very good play by bringing in the Kadabra, knowing that I wouldn't go for the foul play. He's not going to be able to encore me into the Roost, but I do see the encore coming, so I'm going to switch directly into my Tauros, and I do have the Pursuit, so I'm going to be able to Pursuit trap this Kadabra as he does try to switch out, which means next time he does bring it in, I will be able to knock him out because now his Focus Sash is broken. As he brings back in the Torkoal, this is actually really bad for me because this is basically his free chance to get up Stealth Rocks. As I bring in my Mandibuzz, I know that I could successfully just Toxic Stall this Torkoal, so I'm just going to stay in, and I'm going to go for the foul play, then Roost up and just see what he wants to do, as he ends up making a safe switch into the Roselia. Again, I really have no reason not to go for the taunt, but he does predict that, and he's going to go for the Sludge Bomb, which is 26% to me, and unfortunately, eventually he will knock out my Mandibuzz, but I'm stubborn, so I'm just going to stay in, and I'm going to go for the Roost as he brings in the Braviary. Now, I found it a bit odd that he brought in the Braviary, but as soon as I saw bulk up, I was like, fuck! And that's actually why I went for the taunt, predicting him to be bulk up, because why else would you ever bring a Braviary in on a Mandibuzz? Even choice banded Braviary will not take down Mandibuzz. So I go for the taunt, predicting him to substitute, but he actually goes for the bulk up. Then I go for the Toxic, and I miss. and he's able to knock out my Mandibuzz. So yeah, my Mandibuzz basically just got hacked to death, and now I have to bring in my Haunter, disable his Brave Bird, and hope that somehow my Haunter will be able to beat this Braviary one-on-one, because if he was toxic, I would have instead brought in my Probopass, which means I could have got on my rocks, I could have just power gemmed and volt switched accordingly to be able to get rid of this Braviary. Unfortunately though, that is not the case, and I have to bring in my Haunter, which is the next best thing that I have to be able to deal with this Braviary one-on-one, because my Haunter can easily disable the Brave Bird from Braviary and still be able to break his substitute. Unfortunately, because I only got regular toxic on him, he's only going to be taking 12% every turn, as opposed to being toxic poisoned, where his damage would be racking up every turn. So I go for the Sludge Bomb, break his substitute as he goes for the Brave Bird. Then this turn, thinking that the disable was so obvious that he would bring in Kadabra to encore me into it, I'm going to go for the Sludge Bomb, but he makes a good play, predicts that, and goes for the Brave Bird, knocks out my Haunter. Luckily for me though, it is a double down, so I no longer have to worry about the Braviary, as I'm going to bring in my Tauros. He actually ends up bringing in the Kadabra, and I don't want to give him a free chance to switch out, because Kadabra could still be a massive threat because it is very, very fast. So I pursue trap him as he brings in the Sawk. Nothing that I have left is going to take a hit from the Sawk. So I just basically fodder off my Ludicolo, just because with him having Roselia can easily live an Ice Beam and knock me out with the Sludge Bomb, or even go for the rest and then knock me out as he switches out and then switches back in. So I bring in my Tauros on the Sawk, and he makes a very questionable play by leaving in his Sawk. I don't know if he predicted me to double out to my Probopass, predicting him to bring in the Haunter, but either way, because of that misplay, that gives me some huge momentum in this battle, because I no longer have to worry about the Sawk whatsoever. As he predicts my Probopass switching, he's going to be able to knock me out with 2 Hidden Power Fighting or 2 Hidden Power Grounds, allowing me to now bring in my Tauros and pursue trap this Haunter. I get a crit, which I don't know how much the crit actually mattered, just because it is super effective. I am adamant, and Haunter does not have the best defenses around. As he brings in the Torkoal, I am locked into pursuit, so I have to switch into my Sawk. Thankfully, I do not get burned by the first Lava Plume, and I'm going to be able to bring him down to a point where even if he burns me this turn with a second Lava Plume, I can still get off enough damage with the Earthquake to bring him down to a point where I can then bring in Tauros and knock him out with a return. But I'm actually able to not get burned by both Lava Plumes, knock out the Torkoal, then knock out the Roselia with the crit, which honestly the crit doesn't matter, just because I could have then brought in Tauros and knocked him out with a return, and that's going to be the narrow to a victory in my favor. So that was definitely a fun game. This is really the only battle that I have saved up right now, because I've not gotten many battles on Showdown lately. But yeah, actually recently I've been active in the YouTube chat on Pokemon Showdown when I am online, so if you guys like want to challenge me on there, then feel free to do so. My alt is 6FootHacks with the number 6 spelled out, because fucking Tony decided to take the number 6 and just, yeah, whatever. That happened like a year ago. Anyways, if you enjoyed the battle, make sure to leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to some more content. I apologize for talking 3 minutes before the battle even started, but yeah, I've taken up enough of your time, so I'm out of here. Later, everybody.